Welcome everyone back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. My name is D-Free. Here today we are going to be taking a look at some of the leaks from Team Dokkan as it pertains to the upcoming Saiyan Day banner. That should be a banner between both versions of the game. I have not read what they do yet, but I have heard a little bit on Twitter, so we'll go ahead and take a look at what the cards do. Hope you guys enjoy, and if you want to see the leaks down below, I will leave a link for you. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump in. So Team Dokkan, of course, amazing helps with the community always. And he posted a bunch of stuff here. You know what? I literally thought this said Garlic Jr. I was about to say, holy crap. They're finally doing it. One of these days, man. One of these days. All right. So very short and sweet. Transforming Vegeta is a physical type. That's really cool. He has a pure Saiyans category leader, and he's 150. So when we initially got this on like the 8th, the leak that it was going to be transforming Vegeta from Team Dokkan, I believe, as well, I said in that video, I didn't know how they would handle it. I felt like Pure Saiyans would be a good one. I didn't think he was going to get an all-encompassing leader skill, but I also didn't think he was going to be 150 Pure Saiyans. 150 Pure Saiyans is actually really good, because the fact that Pure Saiyans is one of the main categories that has access to a ton of units, and by extension of that fact, since there's so many units in here, I don't know if you guys noticed the pattern, but most of the time when there's a lot of units in there, they get 170 to both, HP or defense, and then 130 to attack. And then the categories that don't have a lot of units typically get the 150, 170 attack. For the most part, anyway. There are some, obviously, like some other, categories that did different things, like this one, for example, where it's like, oh, 170, but like there's a ton of units in here. But you get my point. So, nonetheless, that is something that typically happens. So, having access to 150 Pure Saiyans is going to be very good for the fact that we have all of these units here that can excel more under that team. And I think it's fair now, because really what it breaks down to is Pure Saiyans can basically be chopped up to being under either Goku's lineage or Vegeta's lineage teams. I mean, there are some stragglers in there, of course, like Broly, who wouldn't be in there technically, even though he can get secondary leader skills, and then Bardock's crew, but there's not much more than that. So, like, for the most part, you can basically use all the best units in the game under those teams anyway, so I guess that it makes sense in that scenario as well. So let's go back over here. So passive, lower end, on the first form, okay, so yeah, he's a transforming unit, by the way. Attack and defense plus 80%. And attack plus 6% per key sphere obtained. So let's go back to that comparison. And I talked about this in the initial video, and this is going to be a good example. So transforming Vegeta is another unit, and I said they probably honestly had the idea or even constructed this unit way back when they made these, which would have been whenever. I don't know when they made these, but we know when they released them. These two are the previous example for a unit like Vegeta. Vegeta's going to be doing the exact same thing. So they released in August. That's interesting. Anyways, so starting off with one natural passive that, of course, progresses through all of the forms. Vegeta does have 5 forms as well. If you don't know the forms, they are Super Saiyan, Super Vegeta, no Super Saiyan 3. He goes Super Saiyan 2, SSG, and then SSB, and there we go. So yeah, starting off with an 80% attack and defense with his own specific, passive there. So 80% and 6% per orb obtained. And then on the higher end, on his final form, attack plus 120. Wow. Attack and defense plus 120 and plus 10% per key orb. Changes every key orb on the board to physical. Wow. Wow, I'm going to have to see some calculations for that. That's crazy. That's crazy. He changes the whole board yellow and gets 10% per. But again, if you guys have played with these units, you already know that getting here is not easy. It's not easy getting here. It's not. So there's that, but I'm curious to see what the ones in between are like. It's probably just, we can kind of probably just see it. I think it's just going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 per orb, and then, of course, the incremental passive raises. So what would be the passive raise for here? He probably keeps attack and defense. Goku kind of peters off on the defense a little bit, but he picks up more damage mitigation as he goes by 1%. Frieza peters off on the defense, but keeps access to the HP. But those are both defensive viable things on the secondary passives. I don't know if Vegeta will. I don't know. He'll probably do it. He'll probably just become mainly offense, to be honest. But really, you know what? I don't think he's losing any defense. The reason being is because when you get to the final form, these units completely lost their defensive passive in favor of the secondary passives that are still defense oriented. You know, receiving damage received by a 25%, reducing that, and then healing. Well, Vegeta still's at 120. See, I don't think Vegeta's losing anything. I think the second form, I think he's gonna get the same attack boost. It's probably gonna be 90, and then 100, 110, 120. If I'm counting the number of turns correctly, yeah, I don't think he's losing anything because he still gets defense here in the final end. So that's really interesting. Vegeta is shaping up to be a very good unit. Like, really, really good unit. I think he already looks better than the other two. Like, as far as transforming units go, they go through a sequence of forms. So that's really exciting. Super Vegeta Int type. There is a Int type Super Vegeta coming out as well. And, of course, there are some easy A's for older cards. Oh, okay. So Int type, key +3, and 90% to all stats. Not a bad sub-leader skill. Attack and defense plus 80%, plus an additional 120% attack and defense depending on HP remaining. The higher the HP, the better the boost. So it's not splitting up the boost, it seems. It doesn't seem like it's splitting up the boost, which is really good. Guaranteed critical hit if an android category enemy is present. Okay, I can dig it. I mean, he can be on the team, so that's good. So he's a basically 200% if you have high HP, which shouldn't be too hard to do. So, very good unit. I don't have a lot of words for him, but he's going to be very good. One of the better non-festival exclusive units because he should be a unit that's on the banner, but just obviously winds up in every other banner from there. So, 200%, man, that's really, really good. I have no negative words about that. And then, of course, to add, you know, a little bit more icing on the cake, he does get the guaranteed crit on the fact that if you're facing an android enemy. Now, that's not going to be super common, but it's still nice to have. So, nonetheless, Easy A Super Saiyan Trunks feature. Oh, is this the father-son GALICK gun? It is. Interesting. This unit is awakening. Easy A-ing a flat support unit is very scary. He could wind up being a better support unit than Bulla. And if Vegeta's lineage is going to... I already use this guy sometimes on Vegeta's lineage, for one. But they have him, and I have him Rainbow, too, funnily. And they have Bulla. Let's see what he does, though. Attack and defense plus 70% if 2 or more Vegeta's lineage category enemies are present. They don't change anything else. They just give him his own attack and defense boost. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it says category allies are present, so you just run them on that team, basically. Now, this line right here, if 2 or more are present, I wonder if that's specific to the rotation or specific to the team. I would imagine it's specific to the team, but I guess there's a possibility it's specific to the rotation as something just to float out there. He does get 2 key and 30% to attack and defense to all types with the leader skill. They changed the flat to a percentage. Still think they could have done better. 2,500 to 3,000 or to 30%. Excuse me. It's just not that great. But it's nice to give him his own attack and defense boost. I was scared that they were going to make him like 45% or something. But it doesn't seem like they're changing this. It seems he's going to keep this exact passive and then just get a secondary part of it where he gets his own boosts, which, again, allows for him to output well. The super attack will obviously do more damage. SA level 15. All the stuff, all the qualifiers for being an easy A do qualify here. So he'll output pretty well, probably reach about 1 million damage, and he always will be supporting himself too, which is part of the reason why they just gave him 70%. When you have support units like that, you got to consider the fact that they still apply that passive to themselves. So there's going to be an easy A for Tech SSB Vegeta the Nuker. Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh okay, this isn't the Nuker. I was about to say, man. I was gonna say, oh, we're gonna get it. You know what? Isn't there, am I crazy? Or was I think it is. Oh no, this is the one I was thinking about. Man, they have a lot of these old like Goku and Vegeta cards that just need to awaken at this point. But anyways, father-son GALICK gun. I totally forgot this card was a thing, man. You know, this card isn't bad now, but when these cards came out, I'm not going to lie to you, we were under, I think it was under Gotenks' lead at that time, where he was the main tech leader. Something like that. All types, HP, attack, and defense. Plus 25%. That's actually low-key pretty good for a passive that's going to get awoken. And he was solid then, but like didn't have the links to really, really fit. And then, of course, that's from the time where everybody hated Shattering the Limit. A lot of people still hate it, but I think a lot of people are coming around to the fact that sometimes the unit just needs the key and it's not a bad thing. So nonetheless, though, I never really did use this unit a single time. Really, I used him, but like not like that. Like not obviously. Like he never even got a showcase videos. That's how you know it's bad, right? Uh, all right, all types 2 key 90% attack and defense. No HP. Did he have HP? Yeah, he did. So I don't think they're just gonna knock HP off. That could be a typo. I don't think they're gonna knock the HP off. But if they do, if they don't, this is like one of the best all types leaders in the game. Period. 2 key sucks, but nonetheless, when you have units that have shining the limit, prepare for battle, that type of stuff, it's not a big deal. You know, that link pretty well. And then he also can slide onto the Vegeta teams with the Royal Lineage and have access to some of those other relevant links. Passive skill, attack and defense plus 30% for all allies if 2 or more Vegeta category allies are. Wait, he becomes a support unit? What the hell? I would have not guessed that. What the heck? Attack and defense plus 70% when facing only one enemy, but these types of passives always kind of suck anyway. Like they don't suck towards the end of event. I guess not really, but whatever. Anyways, so wait, what? Attack and defense plus 30% for all allies. That's a support passive. If 2 or more Vegeta's lineage category allies are present, which again I'm assuming does mean the overall team. Excuse me. So wait, hold on. Him and Trunks are basically the same unit. They like literally are. Vegeta's gonna output a little better, but they're like the same unit. Trunks is 25 and 25. Vegeta's 30, 30, and then 70 and 70 here. Trunks picks up 70. They're like the same unit. Okay, I mean that's not a bad thing. It's not. It's Trunks' attack boost is conditional. Vegeta's support passive seems conditional. That's cool. I don't mind it. I don't. The thing is, what they really are is they're some of the best units you can use on Vegeta's lineage now. You put them on the team and just make them off rotation floaters, basically. I don't think there's enough room for both of them when you also have Bulla, who is by far the best support unit. But nonetheless, they're really, really good and worth consideration. So ultimately, that is my thoughts on this. And again, huge shout out to Team Dokkan. And the thing about these cards is when it comes down to, for one, the easy A's for these, right? We're going to start, I hope that from here we start easying more cards that aren't just banner cards, like older banner cards. They need awakenings. I don't disagree with that, right? But I would like to see more TURs like this that actually get Extreme Z awakenings. And also pay attention to the fact that, you know, he mentions that we're getting this Vegeta, which obviously would mean that it's coming with a new stage. Now, I don't know, and we'll figure it out right here. I don't think many cards awoken as part of the Goku's event, but it's very possible they could say, okay, well, let's allow, yeah, see, these are the cards. Let's allow, you know, numerous cards to awaken as part of the upcoming event for the Vegeta. You know, older Vegeta cards like the one I was looking at earlier. I think it was just, yeah, it was just these cards that came out, the Goku and Frieza stuff, and then the individual 2 new cards, which I don't, and before there's an LR that comes out afterwards. Holy crap, because Vegeta also has 2 new cards, and they both had 2 new cards in before. I'm calling it now, man. I don't know what it would be, but I'm calling it now. Probably Vegeta and Trunks. Ooh. Ooh, okay. All right. That'd be, I guess it's time to go. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you pull the Vegeta, your Super Saiyan Vegeta will be invalidated because he has the same name. Just want to point that out. But have an awesome day nonetheless, and I will catch all of you guys in the next one.